What is up, all you Wumbles? Jaggy here. I'm back. Back from my hiatus. It's been about 3 months, or a little over 3 months since my last upload, and that was the post-match analysis after our final game of the season, which, actually, no, the final game of the season, I didn't actually stream that, but the second to last game of the season where we lost to Fleetwood. And AFC Wimbledon find themselves in uncharted territory. Now, I don't necessarily mean League 2 is uncharted territory, because they've been here for, I want to say 5 seasons before they got promoted, eventually to League 1. But when I say uncharted territory, I mean the first time in AFC Wimbledon's history they have seen a relegation. And when I say AFC Wimbledon's history, I mean AFC Wimbledon's history. Not speaking in regards to Wimbledon's history as a whole, in essence. I'm talking to all you Milton Keynes fans out there. But anyway, yeah, first time in AFC Wimbledon's short history that they have seen relegation. And I don't think there's a worse time. I don't think there's a worse time to get relegated to League 2, because League 2 has been looking stronger and stronger each and every year. And that is because of the financial backing that a few of these teams have had. Your Salford Cities, your Wrexham, well no, Wrexham's in the National League, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found themselves in League 1 next season or the season after that. They bottled the playoffs last season, but anyway, yeah, you have a couple teams with financial backing, right? And it's going to be very difficult to contend against those teams. And I was thinking we would have a good budget, right? But it seems to me like there are a lot of questions regarding that budget. We don't have too many answers. We don't have too much transparency in that regard. Where did that money go for Jack Rodoni's sale? Probably some of it went to the debt, right? And it's going to be an issue. Once we fully pay off that debt, then we can start putting it more towards the transfer window and the signings and stuff. But the transfer window that we've had this season, not too bad. Although I think our expectations have certainly been lowered from our terrible transfer window last season, in which our loan signings were the worst in our history. None of them really showed out. I mean, Henry Lawrence was okay in the first few games of the season, and then, kind of in and out of the rotation, and just didn't really make the most out of him. Presley, of course, didn't really pan out. We thought he was going to be good because, typically when we get loan players from Brentford, like your Marcus Forces, Jakob Oxenen, he was in and out. He's a midfielder, obviously, but in and out, did okay. But Aaron Presley was just a no-show, really. He only had, 2 goals in the season? Both penalties, or just 1 goal in the season. That was a penalty. So, didn't really make much use of Aaron Presley. So we have another signing, of course, Pearce, Maghoma. Anyway, let me just wrap this up. This introduction has been fairly long. So let's start off from chronological order. The very first signing that we made, and I believe the best signing that we made this transfer window, Alex Pearce, coming from Millwall after 4 seasons playing for Millwall. His second and third seasons were where he had most of the playing time. Millwall fans out there, plenty of them give praise to Alex Pearce and how he is a player that can really take the game by the scruff of the neck. And that's someone that we really need at this stage. That's kind of someone that we really lacked last season. We were devoid of someone who would just take the game by the scruff of the neck. We thought we would get that with Lee Brown, but he ended up being flop due to the on-pitch performance. You'd think with a veteran like Lee Brown, he would, his defensive positioning would be better and he would give us shape and solidity, but he did get beat on a couple of occasions throughout those matches. And we thought he'd be a leader, but he turned out to be more of a grumpy old man, I guess. I don't even know. But Alex Pearce, I think, is someone that we need in terms of leadership and also in terms of someone who can have that sort of nitty-gritty style of play. And we need someone like that in League 2 especially, where League 2, full of grizzlied veterans, and full of people who would just, get stuck into challenges and make it very difficult for players who will try to, rinky-dinky dribble around those players. It's going to be very difficult in that league to get by someone without getting tackled. So Alex Pearce would provide that for sure. Players like Nightingale and Callum Baye, sometimes not willing to get stuck into challenges, maybe a little too safe. And also defensively solid. I think we need someone like him. And I think with that signing, we might see Will Nightingale drop to the bench despite his 3.5-year extension, which I think was a little too high. Of course, I forgot to mention he also played for Derby County for 6 seasons, and before that, Reading for 7 seasons or so. So very much an established player. And another established player that we got, Chris Gunter, who has been playing since the dawn of time. I mean, well, both him and Alex Pearce have been playing since 2006. And Chris Gunter, outside back, played for Nottingham Forest for 4 seasons, Reading for 8 or 9 seasons. He's played with Alex Pearce, actually, so a little bit of a chemistry thing there. And it's going to be a bit of a pattern that you'll see throughout these signings. Chemistry with players that, Alex Pearce and Chris Gunter, and also Pearce Maghoma and George Marsh playing together in the Tottenham Academy for a couple of seasons. That's a recurring theme that we'll be seeing. But anyway, Chris Gunter, been around the block, and also another very experienced defender. This time he's going to be a outside back, fullback, if you will. Hopefully he'll fill in the shoes of Lee Brown. When I say fill in the shoes, I mean fill the void. No, those are completely wrong terms to use because... Sorry, I dropped my headphones. Those are completely wrong terms to use because saying that filling the void is implying that Lee Brown actually made an impact on the team when in reality it was the total opposite. Didn't really have any impact, so hopefully Chris Gunter will make an impact. Next signing, Kyle Hudlin, and I will watch some highlights from Kyle Hudlin. I'll watch some highlights from Josh Davison. Those are the only 2 players out of the transfer window that I was able to pull up highlights from. Everyone else kind of... I'm in the dark in regards to those players, but Kyle Hudlin signed from Solihull Moors, a National League side, and he scored 8 goals and 4 goals respectively in those 2 seasons. A lot of fans are saying that Hudlin is going to be our quote-unquote flop of the season. Of course, last season, our quote flop was Sam Cosgrove. Actually, we had several flops, but I think Sam Cosgrove was probably the best candidate for flop of the season. And hopefully Chris Hudlin can do better. I mean, he's kind of like a slightly taller version of Cosgrove. Not too athletic, but he's someone that can definitely win the headers. Played 2 seasons for Solihull Moors. Not too much to talk about there. All right, let's take a look at Kyle Hudlin to see if he is going to live up to, maybe not to expectation, but if he's going to at least provide me with a sense of reassurance. Of course, him and Josh Davison, I'll get him in just a moment. The 2 strikers that we signed in our transfer window. Got a little bit of a training ground move here, perhaps. Oh, long ball over to Hudlin. Good first touch. Good second touch. Oh, an absolute belter into the top corner. Watch this be like his only good goal, and the rest of them are like tap-ins or something. We'll see. All right. Hudlin hooking out wide. Okay, now he's going to make a run into the box. When I say run, I mean a saunter into the box. As expected, he would be decent in the air considering his size. But some people that are really tall don't have the height, don't have the vertical. It's a basketball term, the vertical leap to be able to get up in the air. All right, Hudlin. Decent finish. Also, I like the music. Drum and bass is one of my favorite genres of music. Ooh, back post run here from Hudlin. This is going to be a tap in, yeah. Okay. Oh, brilliant ball, Hudlin. I promise I'm not trying to make a meme out of this. He's going to be our Lord Bettner. Oh, back heel. That's what you like to see. Oh, he's going to press the keeper. Hey! Hey! Oh, he got up anyway. Okay. Ah, that could have been a better finish. Could have been more placed toward the side netting there. That's all good though. It's kind of hard to open up your body when you're facing the other way. Headed goal there. I was gonna mention, kind of hard to face the other way. Ayuba Sal missed a 1v1 when we were playing against Sheffield Wednesday last season. Then Sheffield Wednesday made it 2-1 like 4 minutes later toward the dying moments. That's one example. One prime example of how difficult it can be to contort your body. Oh, he's around the keeper. Oh, what a finish. What a finish from Kyle Hudlin. Okay, here we go. Let's see his pace again. Maybe on the ball pace? No. Good ball, though. I said I promise I'm not going to make a meme out of this, and I'm making a meme out of this. Oh, the tap done. Oh, that was a good redirect. Sometimes it can be difficult to redirect your headers, and that was well done by Hudlin. Okay, gets up and over, nice knockdown, good finish. Kyle Hudlin seems like the kind of player you just lump in the 75th minute to try to win the knockdowns and create chaos in the 18-yard box. I would assume I don't think he's going to be a eternal bench warmer, but I think he'll start maybe a couple of games, but he'll be coming off the bench in most games, I would assume. Maybe a striking duo of Davison and Asal. I'm not a huge fan of having Asal as a striker. I think he excels more out wide or as a center forward, center attacking mid type of player. Maybe not in terms, when I say attacking mid, I don't mean in terms of quality on the ball, but making it difficult, just hustling and harrying the defenders. But we might see Asal at striker alongside someone like Davison. Or Hudlin Davison in a front two. Oh, brilliant. I love the zoom in. It's like, look at this pass from Hudlin as they zoom in. Why do I feel like that part was just a meme? That was a good header. That was a good header to redirect it. I guess not too much to comment on. But yeah, again, like I mentioned, I think he will be coming off the bench to create some havoc. Okay, next up is Edmund Pearce Maghoma, on loan from Brentford. And as I mentioned before, he played for the Tottenham Academy for a couple of seasons, has that chemistry with George Marsh. And Pearce Maghoma, I saw the interview that he had with AFC Wimbledon, gave George Marsh plenty of props, told him, said he was a top bloke, good player to play with, puts in the effort. And, George Marsh is a very good player to have on your squad, both in terms of effort and in terms of quality. But it's good to see that those two players have chemistry with one another. And here's the thing though, where's George Marsh going to play? Because our center mid depth is insane right now, especially with the signing of Pearce Maghoma. Not necessarily quality, but the depth is there. We do have quality in our center mids, right? We have McCormick, Maghoma, Alfie Bendel's starting to make a name for himself. Alex Woodyard, say what you want about him. He is a workhorse after all. And then Chislett, where's he going to slot in, right? Where's Marsh going to fit in? If he has good chemistry with Maghoma, are we going to be seeing Marsh play as an outside back? No, because we saw Gunter, right? He's going to be playing right wing back, left wing back. I would assume that would go to Jack Curry, who has also been making a name for himself as of late. Where is Ethan Marsh going to slot in the fold? And I'll get into that later when I talk about potential lineups. We could be throwing out all kinds of lineups: 3-4-3, 3-5-2, 4-3-3. It's up in the air. I'll talk about that on another video. But Maghoma, I will be reacting. Wait, there aren't any highlights of Maghoma actually, so we'll just see how. I guess we'll just see how he fares. I mean, very young 21-year-old prospect. And I think it's a good signing, despite the fact that we already have a bunch of center mids, right? I think it's another player that we can have in our rotation to use to move the ball around. And he talked about in his interview that he's the kind of player to, get the ball moving quick, 1, 2, 3 touch football, try to get it forward. And, the type of player that would be good to get the ball out of pressure. If there's pressure on him, he'll be, take a touch around his mark and then maybe play a through ball or ball out to the wide man. So I think it's a good signing for us. And last up is Josh Davison. Davison? Davison. I'm going to say Davison. That's usually what we would say in the U.S. Davison? Yeah. Played for Charlton for a couple of seasons. Actually has some experience playing with Johnny Jackson. And Johnny Jackson actually gave some positive remarks to him. Then played for Swindon last season. Scored 9 goals. 6 of them actually coming towards the latter stages of the season. I think last 6 games from what I heard from Wombles Had a Dream podcast, specifically their debate shows. 6 goals in his last 6 games. Okay. Coming into this season, white hot. So good time to snag him up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about him. So let's immediately jump right in to the highlight video I have. This is a little old. with absolutely no audio. I think I'll just throw in some audio there randomly. Oh, good first touch there. Nice first touch there by Josh Davison. So this video was uploaded 4 years ago. Dink the keeper. No, he goes around him instead. Oh, it looked to me like he wanted to head it towards the top corner and then just kind of made a last-second decision when the ball dipped his head. Bottom corner finish. Strong finish there. With his weak foot, I would imagine. His penalty kicks kind of concern me a little bit. Obviously, those are just 2 penalty kicks, but if you're going to go that way, you want to make sure that you place it towards the bottom corner. You know, people who go to the keeper's left have a tendency to be too afraid to place it on the side net, so it's kind of a little too central. But anyway, you know, he looks to me like a good finisher, though. I was going to make that supporting run. Ooh, good first touch. Seems to me like that's one of his trademarks, the touch behind, not a Ronaldo chop, but like his first touch going behind his lead leg. Again, you see that right there. Nice through ball there. Good through ball. Good vision. So it seems to me like he's going to be, you know, a lot of strikers in League 2, some in League 1. When I say some, I mean some, because, you know, there are a lot of academy prospects, a lot of very talented youngsters. But some players in League 1 and most players in League 2 in the striking position are, you know, poachers or players that are not really known for their assists. But it looks to me like he's, you know, pretty well-rounded. Got decent pace. Davison doesn't want to play on the wing. Some fans have been proposing that, you know, with the signing of 2 strikers alongside Ayuba Sow, who might or might not play striker, why not have Hudlin on the wide area in a 4-3-3? Why not have a Sal on the other wing and then Hudlin up top? According to Wombles Had a Dream podcast, he wants to play as a striker, whether it's the striker in the 3 or a striker in a 2. So that's out of the equation. And that also kind of gives an issue in regards to who else is going to play winger aside for if we play a 4-3-3. Maybe a Sal on one end. Who's going to play on the left? McCormick? That's a good through ball, by the way. Oh, good free kick, too. Challenge the keeper. But McCormick is... I don't know if we should play McCormick out wide. I mean, he thrives in the central roles. I mean, our center mid depth is probably a little bit too deep. Josh Davison. Again, there's that touch once again. The touch behind the lead leg. Shot. Oh, there it is again. He can really deceive defenders with that touch. I mean, that's a really good... Oh, good first touch there, too. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Josh Davison. He has a very good first touch, I gotta say that. And that's one of the most important and arguably underrated aspects of a good quality striker is their first touch. Their ability to set themselves up for a shooting opportunity. Or set themselves up to have a defender go one way and then try to sprint and recover and then draw the defender in to be able to lay it off to somebody. If your first touch is poor, it takes you away from goal, first and foremost. Takes away your shooting opportunity. But it also leaves you susceptible to being dispossessed. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Davison. I'm very bullish on Josh Davison from what I saw just from this video alone. So I guess that's that. I'll be making another video tomorrow in regards to like a season preview kind of thing, as well as looking at what kind of lineups we might see and some fan opinions as to which formations they want to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be back. Stay awesome, everybody.